when thousands and thousands of foreign workers were driven out of South Africa, joblessness was not solved. The situation did not get better, it got worse. South Africa's employment rate jumped to 33.6% in the second quarter of 2026, up from 32.7% in the first quarter. The statistics in South Africa say the number of unemployed people rose from 345,000 to 8.5 million. You can imagine, from 385,000, 45,000 to 8.5 million South Africa living and surviving with no jobs. That is where you sit back and reevaluate where the real problem is. Are the foreign workers really the problem? Are they really the problem? Or the system is the problem? I've been looking at these numbers and seeing what's going on in the country and asking myself, why do some people not see who the real problem is? The foreign worker is not the issue, not the problem. The system is 345,000 to 8.5 million South Africans going unemployed. While the number of people actually employed fell from 16,000 to 16.7 million. So those who had been employed, God. So 16.7 million lost job simply because you chased away foreign workers who are creating opportunity the government couldn't create, who are creating jobs the government couldn't create, who are creating opportunities, avenues for you to make a living, for you to earn your daily income simply because they were foreign and the government couldn't create those avenues. So sad. It's a very sad situation. A very, very sad situation. We see the numbers of youth unemployment. We see the numbers were specifically 264,000. Previously, it jumped to 5 million young South Africans going unemployed. From 264,000 to 5 million young South Africans being unemployed. And it's because of our silly mistakes. Our silly mistakes and pride, ego. We can do better. We can do without them. Let them go back to their country. Everyone plays a major role. Everyone plays their own role in the growth of any economy around the world. If I ever meet a Nigerian in Italy, if I meet a South African in France, if I meet a Kenyan in Dubai, I cannot ask. You just ask them what they are doing over there. They'll tell you, oh, I do software engineering over here. I'm a mechanical engineer here. I'm a teacher. I'm a doctor here. There is a major, and it is a very important role they are playing for that very ecosystem. So you cannot say because they don't belong there, they are Kenyan or they are Nigerian or they are Ghanaian, so they shouldn't be there. No. No. And all this, I blame all this on South African President Ramaphosa. Is the real problem. And ANC is the real problem. You as the president, you cannot say on national television, you are sorry, you feel bad of what your own people are doing to other people. And yet we don't see people getting jailed. We see Jacinta is still walking around doing interviews and still threatening foreigners. Why is she not in jail? Why hasn't she been prosecuted and held accountable for her actions? We've seen her people, beat up kids, beat up women, beat up children. Why are her people still walking around freely? And you come on national television, you say, yeah, sorry, you will help cover the cost of a repatriation. My friend, Ramaphosa, time will come when you will pay for all the wrongs you are doing. Time will come when you will be held accountable for everything you are doing. Trust me, no wrongdoings go unpunished. No wrongdoings go unnoticed. We note, we watch, we listen, we see. We might not speak today, we might not act today, but the law never forgets. Today you are in power, feel untouchable, but tomorrow is never promised. Now, I think let's go back to 2 quarters. Of how the country was doing, of how South Africa was doing. Through June and July, thousands of our nationals, Malawians, Ghanaians, Nigerians, Zimbabweans, and others were driven out of South Africa. Some fled under threat after mobs marked the 30th of June as the deadline for undocumented foreigners to leave. We all saw this. We saw the clips, saw the videos. Others were formally repatriated in droves by their own embassies, which was very, very special because not everyone was taken out of the country by their specific governments. You need to know that some never even got the chance to get out of that country. And trust me, if we go by the numbers in future, you might find out that some have died due to the attacks. But you won't see any media outlet show us what really happened to those who never got to be helped by their very countries. Because not every country swings to action when we have such issues. We saw Kenya, Nigeria, we saw Kenya and Ghana send planes to South Africa to pick up their people. But trust me, not everyone was picked up by their specific countries. So what happens to those who are left behind and have no means to go back to their countries? What really happens to them? What really happens? Others were formally repatriated, endorsed by their own embassies after businesses were looted, and at least one Ghanaian citizen was killed. Yes, it was confirmed. Whose hands bear that blood? Whose hands bear the blood? The core promise behind the entire movement was economic. Get rid of the foreigners and South African jobs will be up for South Africans. Who's told you? Who told you? Do you know how economics work? Do you know how the economy works? You cannot simply take out A and replace it with B without a proper system. The economy works with systems, not just words and silly thinking. Some hollow ideas with no depth. No depth at all. The data just answered that promise directly. The foreigners left, unemployment did not fall. It rose. Youth unemployment. Youth unemployment. The group, the anti-migrant movement claimed to be protecting most. Got sharply worse. In the very first quarter, this was happening. This is not a small statistical footnote. It is the entire tube failing its own test, measured by the government's own numbers in real time. The jobs that xenophobic violence promised to turn to South Africans were never actually being held by the migrants who were chased out. Unemployment fell across 7 of 10 sectors in this same quarter. In construction, trade, mining, and beyond, even tourism, even the hospitality sector. Employment fell across all these sectors. Why? Because of our silly actions. Silly actions. Sectors with no meaningful concentration of undocumented foreign labor driving the collapse. The real forces at work are structural. A shrinking formal sector, weak growth, and an economy that has kept unemployment above 30% for more than 5 years, regardless of who is or is in the country or is not in the country. Whether you are a foreigner or a local. That rate has not dropped or gone down or gone up. It has remained at 30%. And it's very high for any economy. Very high for any economy. For 30% of its people, of its population, of its working population to be unemployed. Very high. Chasing out neighbors, coast South Africa and its South Africa, its international standing. Cost Ghana and Nigeria, their citizens' lives because people are killed. Yes, through the attacks and property. And they cost the country a presidential visit that was cancelled over the fallout, and it did not create a single verified job. You cannot tell me Ramaphosa will now go to Nigeria and say, oh, I'm glad I'm here, my people will go. It cannot happen. You can't chase someone's people, then go there. There's no peace. You create avenues for chaos and expect peace to reign. Things that don't work out like that. It doesn't work out like that. Theory promised relief, but the numbers, the numbers that have been out there are showing the opposite. Someone owes 8.5 million unemployed South Africans an honest explanation for why the plan failed, because blaming their fellow Africans clearly was not. And that person, that very person, is President Ramaphosa. Yes, he should answer to South Africa, because I truly believe he's behind this move. I truly believe he's behind this move. Why are the likes of Jacinta still roaming the streets, still going for interviews, podcasts, celebrating of the deaths they have caused, celebrating of the damages they have caused, celebrating of the robberies that have been caused because of them. Why are they still roaming the streets? They should be in jail. They should be held accountable of their actions. But the president is not even, is like nothing happened. All those lives that were lost is like nothing really happened to him. Me seeing him ask for $18 million for repatriation, whatever cost from Nigerians, it was like a joke. If I were if I were the Nigerian president, I would simply say no. I would simply say no. Yes, no. These are the jokes that we've continued to entertain, and they are costing us more and more every day. We shouldn't allow such silly jokes cost lives, cost properties, cost the economy at the very top. How do we deal with such numbers? How do we get from 30% to 10%, even 8%? Because we need to get the number as low as possible. And how do we create jobs? That is a systems problem, not a foreign workers problem. Because he has come with a simple purpose: to do his thing and live. You that is in that country, born in that country, what are you doing to better your own life? This is a long video. I didn't intend it to be a long video, but I wanted to talk numbers. That's why the video has been long. My name is Mojos Ke, and if for those people who don't know me or who haven't subscribed to this channel, kindly do so, because I'll be back with some more exciting deep dives into South African issues. And for those who want to come in the comment section to insult me, call me names, call me kwere, please, I'm open for it. I don't delete comments. I'll leave it there so you can see how silly you are. My name is Mojos Ke, and God bless you.